TradeTech 2024 has been a really interesting one. We've seen an increased number of conversations around the use of AI in capital markets. We're Imandra and we're using AI in capital markets, so for us this is super interesting. Last year people were talking about what could it do. This year people are talking about what they're doing with it. We're seeing deep machine learning techniques in trading systems. We're seeing the use of large language models to augment people's workflows and the work that they do. An interesting observation in 2023 from my perspective was that we went through the AI hype cycle. This generative large language model, whether it be image generation or otherwise, was thrust into the mainstream and people thought it was fabulous. These general purpose tools that can do many different things. We've been working with AI for some time, so we understood the capabilities, what we can do and what other breeds of AI can also do. What's interesting with 2024 is that people have had mandates to use and explore the use of generative AI in their roles. They're quite diverse. It might be synthesizing text, it might be generating documents, or it might be for trading purposes or augmenting workflows. What's interesting about the difference between last year and this year is the hype cycle seems to have plateaued and people are looking at genuine use cases to make a difference in the way in which their roles can be augmented. Within financial markets, I break down the AI use cases into two very broad settings. Settings where generative AI can be used to expedite people's work, make their life a bit easier, improve quality of life, but things like accuracy and correctness can be compromised because there's human oversight. But in heavily regulated settings, whether it be something like transaction flows or reporting to customers, trade economics and things like that, 100% correctness and accuracy, systems that can be audited and we understand where these decisions came from is paramount. That's the set of use cases where Imandra specialize. Imandra's automated reasoning engine uses symbolic AI, which is the application of deep mathematical logic with systems to understand algorithmic behavior. We've been able to use automated reasoning combined with generative AI to build some interesting products. The theme across everything Imandra does within a financial setting is we model system behavior. And by system, I mean very broadly algorithmic behavior. It could be exchange matching engines, it could be fix APIs or otherwise. The key thing is what Imandra can do when we model these systems is we can then apply this sort of symbolic branch of AI to help do things like generate test cases or prove key regulatory properties of a system. That's really important when you want to understand the correctness of the design of a system. Our exchange business, the product that's been our sort of shop window product for the last couple of years, Imandra Markets, is really interesting. We built these models of exchange technology and that helps exchanges improve their operational resilience. It helps them unlock innovation by increasing the pace at which they can develop their systems in a safe way. Imandra have recently launched our Fix Wizard solution. The Fix Wizard is a really interesting application of symbolic AI combined with sort of large language technology. So what we've been able to build is a true generative AI product that sits in a regulated setting where correctness and auditability matters. We can show that through the use of a chatbot that allows customers or users to interact with a Fix API. They can ask it questions, they can get responses with a human interaction back and forth, and all of those interactions we can rely on. They're correct. We can evidence through the logical reasoning of the model that any question that can be posed is reliable. One of the benefits with the Fix Wizard in a heavily regulated environment is that any actions it takes, in a very similar way to the way in which phone calls are recorded, emails are stored, electronic communications are monitored, the correspondence with the chatbot is auditable. It's something that we can go back in time and review. We know the responses it provides, so it can be trusted in this heavily regulated setting. 2024 has been a really interesting year for us as it relates to feedback across our company, in particular with Imandra Markets. I mentioned earlier the AI hype cycle that we saw in 2023 has really focused people's attention into what solutions are available, and it's given us a bigger platform on which to discuss our flagship product, which is Imandra Markets. So we've seen a lot of traction with the Imandra Markets product. In fact, we've got to this really interesting point where Imandra Markets, as a digital model that supervises exchange technology, now supervises exchange technology in Europe that's responsible for printing 25% of the European volume, which we think is remarkable given the time frame. Only a couple of years ago that number was much smaller. The conversations we're having with other prospect exchanges, they're really getting their head around the types of capabilities that we have and this different way of working to help solve some of their age-old problems that relates to operational resilience, the cost of delivering new technology and managing their plan. Exchanges are craving innovation, and this helps them increase the pace. Imandra Connectivity, in a very similar way to Imandra Markets, we're modeling a system. In this case, it's the FIX API. This is a solution that can be used by trading venues and broker-dealers. Anybody that manages a FIX inbound connection can use our tools to model their inbound FIX API. It allows them to do things like auto-generate test cases, improve their QA, and our most recent announcement is the FIX Wizard. This is the natural language interface into that model of the FIX API. It allows people to interact with it and get these reliable responses. In terms of traction, we have customers using our connectivity product already, and the introduction of the FIX Wizard has been really well received. We've had a lot of footfall at TradeTech, and we're really welcoming deep conversations with customers around how we can further develop the product to meet their specific needs. So for the rest of 2024, the outlook is really interesting for us. Whether we're talking about our markets product, connectivity, and the Wizard, this technology is applicable across all asset classes. We're looking at fixed income, foreign exchange, listed derivatives, and obviously equities, which is the area where we started. The workflows in those different asset classes all diverge significantly, but the same problems exist, and our technology is really ripe and can help people solve the same problems across all of those different asset classes. For the rest of 2024, we really look forward to deep conversations with customers around how we can tailor our solutions to meet their specific needs. We know we can solve lots of the pain points they experience, and having that dialogue with them will really help us solve their problems and evolve our products.